and welcome to Capacity TV. My name is Saf Malik, Senior Reporter at Capacity Media. We're here live at Capacity Asia at the beautiful Shangri-La Hotel in Singapore, and I'm delighted to be joined by Nicholas Nikruyan, Vice President of Voice and Mobile Solutions at Deutsche Telekom. Nicholas, thank you for joining us.
Thanks for having me.
Nicholas, we're here to talk about standalone 5G. And the first question surrounding this is, what are the main security needs for operators when it comes to 5G standalone?
When you look at the new technology in 5G and the way we have been managing previous activities, 3G and 4G, and look at the information that we get from analysts all over the globe, there is a commonality around the fact that everybody believes 5G is going to create a lot of security issues for mobile operators in the future. Cybersecurity issues, fraud issues, and the fact that this technology is more towards machine-to-machine and IoT activities versus human activities. The type of fraud and cybersecurity attacks that we will see in 5G are going to be very, very different than the way we have been seeing in the past many, many decades on 3G and 4G technology. So it creates new opportunities for mobile operators, of course, but at the same time, when it comes to security aspects, it creates a lot of different challenges that we need to make sure that we address properly when we go into this environment.
And why is roaming security so important for 5G standalone? And can you describe the main issues that it presents?
As I said, the 5G is the first technology that focuses on machine activities rather than human activities. So the security part of it becomes unbelievably important. When you look at autonomous vehicles, for instance, I mean, this technology is going to be used in this kind of environment, in automotive environment. So you don't want to be sitting in an autonomous vehicle and have the software of that car being hijacked and crashing while you're driving. So again, as I said, the level of security, the way the security aspects are going to be managed, because it's more focused on the machine-to-machine and the IoT activities, will be very, very predominant from that perspective. And why is it important is just because of the fact that we need to make sure that the safety of the entire ecosystem is kept. And again, the fact that it's the way it's going to be managed is going to be very different than the 3G and 4G. Mobile operators are still trying to figure out how to manage that. So the old ways of managing the security aspects of signaling have to also adapt, of course, as we go into 5G.
And how well do you think carriers are dealing with the challenge that 5G standalone presents?
Predominantly, when you look at the carrier side, as I said, we have been using a commercial model that fit within the 3G, 4G environment, and upselling security solutions on top of the connectivity layer. Within 5G roaming, the security is intrinsic to 5G. It's embedded in the 5G environment. So it's going to be completely different than the way carriers have been managing this throughout all of these decades. So we have new challenges as carriers providing these solutions, and we can no longer do what we used to be doing over the past many decades. Again, as I said, on 3G, 4G, towards 5G, it has to be a completely different new infrastructure. The SEP-to-SEP, what is called the SEP-to-SEP activities and the connectivity means that it's security by design, and we have never dealt in that security by design as a carrier wholesale. As I said, we always sold connectivity and upsold value-added layers on top of it to manage the security part of it. And in 5G, it doesn't work that way anymore, because it is intrinsic and it is really by design that the SEP-to-SEP security has to be part of the ecosystem. So the carriers have a challenge in terms of how to then manage this going forward, because the commercial and the technical models are just changing.
And what is Deutsche Telekom's own approach to roaming security on the new technology?
We are, as Deutsche Telekom Global, we are part of a mobile operator. We have 250 million mobile customers at the end of the day that we have to manage. Mm-hmm. So we look at it very, very differently from that perspective. We are totally in line with the end-to-end security. We don't promote as mobile as MNOs. We don't promote the hub solution at all because we don't believe the security aspects would be managed. So we are looking at a hosted or SEP solution or outsourced SEP solution where, again, the end-to-end security is going to be part of the entire ecosystem. And it's, as I said before, it's not like providing connectivity and with value-added layers built on top of it. It has to be a proactive way of managing security when it comes to 5G. It cannot be that we have use cases that we see fraud coming through and then we build areas in order to manage those fraud activities afterwards. We have to be very, very proactive in making sure that it's, again, the connectivity that is done, the encryption and the decryption is not going through different channels in the process, and it's really direct connectivity from that perspective that we can manage between the mobile operators globally. So as a mobile operator and as a wholesale provider to our own parent companies, we solely promote the end-to-end connectivity layer with hosted SEP solutions or outsourced SEP solutions, and no longer the hub solution.
And looking ahead, how do you see the future of roaming security for 5G standalone?
I think, as I said earlier, it's going to create a lot of opportunities for the industry, and it's going to bring a lot of challenges. We just have to make sure that we work collectively as the mobile operator ecosystem. We have to make sure that we understand we have a responsibility to make sure that security is embedded in the way we manage this 5G going forward. We have to change the business models. The old business models are no longer going to be applicable to the way 5G standalone works. So from that perspective, it's going to change. The future is going to change. It's going to be very different than the way we've been managing it in the past. And I think as a mobile operator community, we really have to take this very, very seriously in terms of how we manage the security aspect of IoT and anything that has to do with 5G standalone.
Nicholas, thanks so much for joining us today.
Thanks very much for having me again. Appreciate it. Thank you.
And thank you for watching Capacity TV.